Welcome back to the Burn Bootcamp podcast. I am joined by the one and only Matt Morris.
I really appreciate that lead, and I wish you would stop doing that. Hello, guys. Welcome back.
My name is Trisha Pena. For those of you who don't know who I am the VP of Marketing at Burn Bootcamp, and Matt is our VP of Nutrition. You probably have also
VP
seen
of
him.
Fitness. Nutrition is underneath that.
Yes,
okay.
that's what it is. But he's also the kind of the face, I guess, if you will, of our Burn Bootcamp on-demand platform, which is a new addition to our product lineup. Yep. So if you haven't checked it out, download the Burn Bootcamp app and work out with Matt. We have a lot of different content. But today, I'm excited to talk with Matt about a trending topic. And I don't know if it's necessarily something that's new to the conversation, but it's something we've been hearing a lot more about, at least in my TikTok and my personal life. And that's this idea of like quick fixes. So Matt, can you talk to us a little bit about why we want to hit on, from a Burn Bootcamp perspective, this idea of quick fixes and how we're kind of against them?
Yeah, I mean, I think, well, I would be fully transparent. I think we have evolved as a brand on this topic. I think, getting into the fitness space, in the early 2010s to like 12, 13, 14, our education isn't what it is now. So I think as we evolved, we have quickly realized, through focus meetings and talking to our members that there is no quick fix. In our philosophy overall is whatever works for you best for your life that you can do long term. There's a saying out there that compliance is the science. So anything that you can comply with over a long period of time, that's what we want. If that's through, different tools like, what are some tools out there? Keto diet or carb loading or
fad diets.
What?
The fad diets?
Well, like tools, what's the one I do? Where you don't eat for a long time? I'm blanking.
Oh.
Intermittent fasting. So like there's all these tools out there. I think what people might get in trouble with is picking one that they don't really like. They do for a short amount of time. And then what happens is you fall off something you won't do long term. And then you get in a perpetual cycle of always trying something new. So you might have to try some things to figure out what you like. But I think from an overall philosophy at Burn, we're never going to tell you that one size fits all for your diet or when to work out or what to do outside the gym. I think the best advice we can give is try some things out. Pick the one that you like, and then do that consistently over a long period of time. And that's how you're going to find results, not only physically, but like your mental health. If you do something you don't like and you're like miserable doing it, then that's terrible for not only your body, but the thoughts that go in between your ears. So
I also think it's maybe not something you like, but also that works with your day to day. Like I've tried intermittent fasting. I am a mom of 3 young boys. Sometimes I'm up at 5 a.m. with them and eating breakfast. Like there was just different things that I liked it, but it just did not work with my lifestyle at that moment in time. That doesn't mean that maybe I can't try that later on in my life. But I think that's also an important distinction of like making sure you like it, but it also works. Like it makes sense with what your lifestyle is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
what do you currently do?
Well, right now I'm like in this space in life where I'm just doing what I can. I think sometimes you have like certain goals and you're working towards something and you're counting your calories or you're tracking your macros, which I've done before in the past. Mm-hmm. Right now, I'm in this phase of life where I'm a busy working mom. I am more about just making sure I get to the gym and making sure I'm fueling my body with enough protein. Those are the 2 things that I think I focus on right now. So it's not necessarily any type of diet necessarily, but it's really just being mindful of how my body is feeling. If I'm feeling tired, if I'm feeling like, I'm not getting enough water, I don't know what you would call that, but that's just kind of the era, if you will, that I'm currently living in.
It's called normal. Doing normal things. I guess real quick before we get into some quick fixes that we're like currently in like the mainstream. What I currently do is if I don't feel like working out, I'm not going to work out. If I feel like working out, I'm going to work out. So it's taken me a long time to get to that point where I used to think, when I was in college or right when I graduated or even in high school, like I have to work out every day to feel good. Yes, you'll feel good if you work out, but if I'm feeling tired, there's a difference between feeling tired and just being lazy. If I really feel like my body needs rest, I'll take a rest day. If I feel like I want to work out that day, I'll work out that day. Same thing with food. Again, it's taken me a long time. I've done all the strict stuff of like, oh, just chicken, rice, and broccoli, or sticking to no alcohol on the weekends. Like I drink alcohol, I'll have pizza throughout the week. I'll eat the frickin' pie or whatever you said off camera, the other F word. I think
I don't cuss.
Yeah, right. I think it's taken a long time to figure that out. And if you're watching this thinking that you're going to get to your goals quicker and in a long-term way of being so strict, from my personal experience, eventually there's a small percentage of people that actually can do that for their life. So find balance. And I know that word gets thrown out there a lot, but I really feel like mentally it's helped me a lot too.
I think that's the biggest thing there, right? It's mental. It's not just, it's physical. There's a physical aspect to it of, yeah, we want to make sure that we go to the gym to feel strong and to make sure we are prioritizing our bodies for the long term. But I also think there's something to be said about the mental side. And at Burn Bootcamp, we do talk a lot about the mental benefits that happen in the gym. And going back to this idea of quick fixes, as a female, and I know men deal with it too, but I can only speak as a female. I know I've struggled in the past with eating disorder. I currently struggle with body image, just like looking in the mirror and just like seeing someone who isn't actually probably what is reflective, but it's all in my head. And so I have a lot of people in my life that I know are, and even like celebrities, are doing things like Ozempic or taking.
Yeah, I was going to say, are we going to call it the elephant in the room or are we not?
Ozempic, I think is, I recently went through this phase where, I have been doing the path of, I've been at Burn Bootcamp for, this is probably the longest besides like high school sports that I've stayed committed to like a fitness routine. And I, like I said before, I try and make sure that I'm fueling my body correctly and I'm doing the right things for long-term benefits. But am I a size 0? No. Am I, it's a certain goal weight? No. And you see people talk about how much weight they're losing so quickly off of things like Ozempic. And here I am trying to go to the gym and do these things. And honestly, at the end of the day, I don't actually care how much I weigh. I don't really care what size clothes I am. As long as I feel good, I'm able to run with my kids and I'm here for like the long term. That's all that I really care about. But for whatever reason, this idea is like making me all of a sudden like concerned with how much I weigh. And I don't want that.
Before I talk about Ozempic, first though, you didn't always think that way. So what was the switch of like realizing like, I don't care how much I weigh. I'm going to lift heavy weights. I'm going to eat a lot of protein. I feel like that if someone's watching there, I guarantee there's other people going through that. So what was the switch? And I'm sure it wasn't a quick switch. No. It probably took time.
Yeah. Well, I think it's seeing your body do things that you never were able to do before. Do a pull-up or do double unders or beat Matt in a sprint, which I've never done. But, like do things that your body hasn't been able to do before and surround yourself. I truly think it's surrounding yourself with people who are like-minded. And I think that's also something that's really great about the Burn Bootcamp community. And this isn't necessarily only a plug for Burn Bootcamp, but for the longest time when I was a trainer and when I was really just submerged in the gym atmosphere, I was able to be surrounded by people who thought like me, who were like, let's just be strong and let's not really necessarily care about how much we weigh. But then when you get on social media and you're scrolling and all you see is everyone talking about, oh, she looks so good because she lost 10 pounds. It's like, well, didn't she look good before? Why does she all of a sudden look good now? I think, and then as a female or again, anybody, it starts to mess with your mental health. At least it does for me. So I wanted to bring this topic in case anyone else out there is feeling the same way that I am as they scroll social media. Find people or remove yourself from conversations that aren't serving you your mental health. It doesn't mean you have to necessarily never talk to people again, but if you just aren't feeling like you're getting stronger mentally or just it's not helping you grow as a human, don't be afraid to say, I can't be part of this conversation, because I've recently had to do that. And to be honest, I feel a lot better about where I'm at. I know that I don't care about how much I weigh. I know that I just want to get stronger. I just did 7 pull-ups. I did a PR for the first time ever, which I think is exciting. I'm not scared of that. I mean, I do make jokes that I'm feeling like bulky, but that's just the pump. I know I was talking to Matt about that the other day. But just reminding myself that it's okay to just be me, I think is the biggest thing, and to feel comfortable in my own skin.
We're going to wrap up here, but real quick, I feel like this word Ozempic is out there everywhere. I literally yesterday was driving and I heard a radio commercial about it. A weight loss clinic was advertising. It's crazy to me in the United States that we can promote a drug for not its intended use. So if you don't know what Ozempic is, it's for people with type 2 diabetes. It's to control their blood sugar. They found out that obviously it suppresses appetite. So doctors started prescribing this just to people that don't have type 2 diabetes. And what happens is these people lose a crazy amount of weight in a short amount of period of time. And for the ultimate quick fix, I'm not going to go too deep in my advice for anyone that is currently on it, that isn't a type 2 diabetic. It's not going to help you long term. It's not going to help you build muscle, obviously, because you're not eating food. You need to eat food to build muscle. Over time, your sleep is not going to be great, because if you have a low body fat percentage and it gets too low for a females, you probably already know it's going to mess up your menstrual cycle, and that's something that you don't want to mess up for your hormones. Sleep. If you are under-consuming food and your body fat percentage is low, your stress levels are high, and that affects your sleep. So there's a multitude of reasons of why to get off Ozempic if you're not a type 2 diabetic. So again, I'm not a doctor, but my personal advice is the best thing long-term is to do the things that daily that we know what to do. We know the formula for results. It's sleep properly, get enough protein, lift heavy weights over a long period of time. The problem with that is it's consistency, and people don't want to do that. And I'm here to tell you there's no other formula for it. So you can try the quick fixes, and that's exactly what it's going to be. It's going to be a quick road to feeling like shit. So take my advice, go long term, and I guarantee 20, 30 years from now, you look back at all the work you did and be proud of that, because you didn't take any shortcuts. So
yeah, no, thank you for that, Matt. So if you're listening to this right now and you have other questions, don't hesitate to reach out to us on Burn Bootcamp Instagram, Matt's Instagram. You can also DM me if you're feeling any certain way of things that I've said, if it resonates with you. And make sure that you're liking, subscribing to this podcast, share it with your friends. Help us get better. Tell us what else we can talk about that you guys want to listen to. So with that, Matt, do you want to take us out?
2 claps on 2. 1, 2. See you guys.
Bye.